Disclaimer. We are interested in everything and experts in nothing. We enjoy learning, but get it wrong sometimes. We mean no disrespect, and if we mess up, kindly correct us. Let's take this ride together, unless your intention is to cause harm or distress, in which case, with utmost haste, fuck right off.
So, all right. First of all, it's going to be my episode, even though it's technically your turn, because it's just time to do this thing.
And we're doing it 2 parts.
Probably 2 parts, if not more. We'll just see how this goes.
We'll see how this goes, but I totally said I'd rather find out now, and...
Yeah. So, we're going to do this thing. So, that disclaimer out of the way.
Right, yes.
We might end up splitting this into 2 parts, which means you're going to hear me talk and tell stories for 3 weeks in a row, and that's just how it's going to be.
We're mixing it up.
Also, I remember telling you about my outline and everything, and
being 5 pages.
Yeah, I gave up on trying to turn my outline into an actual script. It's so much. So I have some script, and then I'm going to switch to the outline. And we're just going to roll with it.
Okay.
We're just going to roll with it. 4 episodes prepping up to this. Okay. So.
Big reveal.
We are going to talk about Sherry Shriner.
I'm so disappointed. I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh, don't be disappointed. That means you get to embark on this journey for the very first time.
Okay.
So
this has nothing to do with the Shriners or the Freemasons, right?
Correct.
Okay, because that was not related. One of my guesses.
Those are not related. Okay, so
my grandfather was a Shriner. He never got to drive the car, which I found supremely disappointing, which I'm sure pissed him off, but meh, I don't care.
So, we are not a true crime podcast, but this is probably the closest we will ever get, because this was so crazy I could not pass this up.
We may delve into cases or things that may border on true crime or supernatural, but we don't specifically seek them out.
Right. Yeah, this is pretty heavy bordering.
Okay, so Sherry Shriner.
Yeah. And I'm going to do my very best, but this is a very hard story to tell coherently.
Well, considering the lead up,
there's a lot going on here.
I'm surprised this is in English.
Yeah.
And not Esperanto or hieroglyphics.
No, it's complicated and a little nonsensical, okay?
A little?
Yes.
Only a little?
It's a lot nonsensical.
Okay. All
right. Imagine the most obnoxious Facebook drama you can imagine. The really train wreck stuff that you can't tear your eyes away from, and you read these comments and you're like, how do these people exist?
Yes.
Yeah, it's that, except people die.
No!
That's what we're about to do.
Oh, no! Okay. All right.
All right. So...
Dialing in.
Is
it on MySpace?
No, it's Facebook.
Oh, okay. So
it is Facebook.
I was going to say, is it back in the days of MySpace?
I mean, technically, yes, it started there, but it was never on MySpace.
Okay.
It started in those days, though.
Somebody got killed for not being in the top 8?
No. Okay, so yes. 4 preview episodes, yes. Sexful Man, Prophetic Fact-Checking, Shazam, and Asbestos and Silly String. If you haven't listened to those, at the very least, go listen to Asbestos and Silly String, because you really...
Did this start out as, a Lululemon essential oils cult and devolve into death?
No.
Okay.
No.
Damn.
Yeah, anyway, so I went way down the rabbit hole on this one. I can't tell you how many hours I spent researching this. I cannot tell you.
Please tell me you went incognito so that it doesn't fuck up your algorithm.
Not always, and I think that's how the algorithm did get me, because it did get me.
Yes, it did.
But no, not always. So I listened to an entire audiobook, and I watched an entire season of Vice's The Devil You Know. Okay. They did 6 episodes on this.
Holy shit. Okay.
Also, The Opportunist podcast
okay.
did 8 episodes on
Jesus
this.
Christ!
There's a lot.
So we're probably doing more than one episode ourselves.
Probably, and that's with me trying to keep it high level.
Okay.
So,
All right.
all of that said,
All right. Sherry Shriner.
here I go.
Is she the crazy person or is she the dead person?
She's yeah.
Oh, God.
First of all, what is a cult? So Oxford Dictionary says a cult is a relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister.
Okay, but Scientology is massive.
Well, that's a whole debate, isn't it?
That's a fucking
So, taking it just a little bit further, there didn't appear to be any consensus in terms of what characteristics cults have in common.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to pick one.
That's fair.
So I went with culteducation.com.
Okay.
And they had 10 characteristics.
Ooh, is NXIVM going to be on there?
We're not touching NXIVM,
Okay.
but that's also really fascinating.
I know it is.
No, that's unrelated. So, the 10 characteristics of a cult, according to culteducation.com.
Okay.
Absolute authoritarianism without meaningful accountability.
Absolutely.
No tolerance for questions or critical inquiry.
Absolutely.
No meaningful financial disclosure regarding budget expenses, such as an independently audited financial statement.
Oh, God, no, never.
Unreasonable fear about the outside world, such as impending catastrophe, evil conspiracies, and persecutions.
Yep.
No legitimate reason to leave. Former followers are always wrong in leaving, negative, or even evil.
Yep.
Former members often relate the same stories of abuse and reflect a similar pattern of grievances.
Absolutely.
There are records, books, news articles, or television programs that document the abuses of the group leader.
You fucked up so bad you got your own ABC special.
Right. Followers feel they can never be good enough.
Uh-huh.
That
would be gaslighting 101.
Yep. The group leader is always right.
Yep.
And the group leader is the exclusive means of knowing truth or receiving validation. No other process of discovery is really acceptable or credible.
Nope.
So keep all of that in mind.
Unless they're trying to replace them with somebody else.
Yeah. So keep all of that in mind as we move forward.
Okay.
Because many people say that Sherry Shriner was the leader of a cult.
Okay.
And Sherry Shriner and her followers say that's ridiculous. There was no cult.
Like, there's no Warren Bossing say. There's no cult. Okay. All right.
Okay. So, we're going to start with allthat'sinteresting.com.
All right.
Sherry Shriner was born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1965.
That explains so much. Nothing good ever comes out of Cleveland.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't remember when I started this episode. Like, it's been such a long time.
Yeah.
But I must have done an episode just prior to that about something that came out of Ohio that we were, like, ashamed of. Because my original
There's
script...
a lot, so let's be honest.
My original script said that I've accidentally started a series that I'm going to call The Shame of Ohio. But I don't remember what the first one was.
What was the first one that we would have had problems with
know.
Ohio? I mean, I know that there was that demon house in Indiana.
That was Indiana. Yeah, that was a long time ago. God, we've been doing this a while already.
We have been doing this a while.
I don't remember.
I don't either, but
I thought that was funny. Like,
it's not shocking. There's a lot in Ohio that we should probably apologize for.
I wonder if that's a series I should do on purpose. But here we go.
Reasons Ohio says they're sorry from the normal people who are stuck here.
Anyway, so Sherry attended Kent University.
Oh, my mommy went there.
And obtained a degree in journalism, political science, and criminal justice.
My mommy didn't finish there, but she went there. Oh, I know she wasn't there when the massacre happened.
Sherry Shriner was.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay.
I remember hearing about it and making a note, but I don't remember. It might have just said it was the same university.
It is the same.
I might be wrong. She might not have been there when it happened.
Well,
I might be wrong.
Her age, though, she's probably right around the same age.
Yeah, I don't know. That was okay. That was interesting because while Sherry Shriner did all these things, she really made it a point not to share about herself.
Okay.
And it sounds like some of the things that she did share may not have been true.
Right, because a lot of times that's embellished.
Yeah.
Like Christmas Lights mummy lady saying she was talking to angels and telling the church members that, no, you're wrong, because I was there. Except for everyone in her family's like, she never fucking did that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that. So I know that allisinteresting.com said that she went there and she graduated with a degree in 1990. But
in 90?
Yeah.
Then no, she wasn't there for the Kent State thing, because that was in the 60s, I believe.
Oh, well, no, she was born in 65 then.
Oh,
so
no,
it must have just been
no.
that she was, they must have just been saying that was the same university then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
60s or 70s, but definitely not as late as.
But when I watched the Vice, The Devil That You Know, they talked to her classmates from like some Christian school.
Oh.
That she went
to.
Kent
State's not.
Right? So there's definitely confusion about her past. Take all of this with a grain of salt because she...
Right.
Yeah. She didn't share in what she did. Might not have been
true.
Cult
leaders are usually shady.
Really? Yeah. Anyway, so she did have dreams of being a serious journalist and wanted to be like a CNN news anchor.
Okay.
But instead, she ended up living in rural Ohio and raising 4 kids. Which is not the same.
It is not, but that is so an Ohio thing.
It's a very Ohio
thing. I planned to do this, but then corn got in the way, and now I have 15 children and
freaking
3 husbands.
Freaking corn.
Ugh.
But
one of our friends, she escaped Ohio, quote unquote.
Yeah.
She's a cartoonist. She's a very talented artist, and she moved to Belgium to be with her fiance. So she did this whole like escaping Ohio, and like there was corn, and she's wearing like a Mad Max.
I might have seen that.
Yeah, and she's like, there's like the hell is real sign.
Oh yes.
So yeah, it's unfortunately
okay. Definitely keep the hell is real sign in mind because this is where we're going.
Oh, okay, let's go.
All right. She learned HTML.
Okay.
And built herself a website.
Okay, good for her.
And started a blog talk radio show in 2004-ish.
Okay.
So, her show aired every Monday night.
Okay.
So, what was it about?
I'm scared.
Okay.
Up until this point, I really don't know. I know she's going to go batshit crazy, but should she start in batshit crazy land?
Yeah, she starts in batshit crazy land.
Okay, all right.
So, I was so proud of this analogy, I almost shared it with you earlier. But I didn't want to give you any spoilers, just in case you had heard of her.
Okay.
But basically, imagine, if you will, Fox Mulder, if he believed that he was a prophet of the Lord and had that religious, zealous vibe on top of all the conspiracy beliefs.
No!
This is Sherry Shriner.
No!
Yeah. Except it would never have been Sherry Shriner because she also believed that FBI agents were agents of the devil. But aside from that.
Okay.
Right?
I dislike this highly already.
Oh, girl. Okay. So first of all, these beliefs that she's sharing with the world on her show.
Uh-huh.
First of all, according to Sherry, she was the daughter of God and the sister of Jesus.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Because why not?
Yeah. So therefore, she was a prophet.
Uh-huh.
And everything she learned, right, came straight from God.
Okay, so God has children every, 4,000 years.
You know
what, Jesus? In Aramaic times, I'm gonna have you be our dude. And then I'm just gonna not do anything for, eons.
2,000 years?
2,000 years later. You know what I need? I need another kid.
Right?
Somebody find me a 15-year-old virgin. Jerusalem's no good? Let's try Ohio.
Ah, well, so she didn't say that she was divine, of divine origin necessarily.
How are you going to say God is your dad?
She believed that she was essentially almost reincarnated.
Oh no.
Almost reincarnated.
She and Christmas Lights Mommy would have had some fun.
Yeah, so it's not like she was saying that God physically came down and impregnated her mother. Not the daughter of God in that sense, but spiritually the daughter of God and the brother of Jesus, and she was essentially sent here to lead us all home.
I'm going to torpedo you into a middle-class Ohio upbringing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So she used the Bible code to access Revelations.
There
Yeah, there it is. She believed the human race was under attack by the reptilian New World Order.
Why? Why is everyone convinced there are lizard people? Do you not understand reptiles would freeze or burn up? There's
Not
so
relevant.
many-
Not relevant.
Didn't you have a bearded dragon where the light broke overnight and by the morning he had died?
I had a bearded dragon who died. I don't recall the circumstances.
It was something with the damn heat lamp. Like it shorted out or some shit.
Could have been.
And of course, it was a matter of 12 hours and he was already out. So, no, these people can control the world, but they don't have access to heat lamp. All right. Okay, go on.
It's fine. Yeah. So the reptilian New World Order is
Mhm.
in league with Satan and also created by Satan. They are literally Satan's spawn. And
I'm sorry, I'm just picturing the devil having sex with like a salamander and it's not working for me.
that might not be how he did it, because
Salamanders are
somehow
amphibious.
I cannot make it make sense. But
Okay.
somehow, because of God and Jesus, Satan is not capable of reproducing directly here in our dimension. So
only
he
make
does it in
demons.
other dimensions.
Oh, that
and
makes-
then they come
Oh.
here.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Also, witches, vampires, and zombies are all real.
Of course.
Do you remember the bath salts headline in 2012?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a whole bit about that and how the zombie apocalypse was finally here.
No, that's just melting your brain.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go on.
So, continuing on with the beliefs she talked about, which, by the way, are confusing as all shit to begin with, but they also evolved over time and began to contradict themselves.
'Cause
So,
like they always do.
I cannot make it make sense. Can't do it. So,
We started here.
just roll with me.
Somehow we're over here. And in between was just a chasm of strange.
Chasm of strange. Sounds good. Also very different. Anyway, so the New World Order is working to enslave the human race.
For what?
Remember, it's just part of their intergalactic war to conquer the universe.
To make us make them more heat lamps?
I don't know.
You're slaves. Your job is to create shiny, warm rocks for us.
So, some of the ways that they do this to enslave the human race. First of all, through chip implants.
Oh, here we go.
And everyone has a chip implant in your belly button from when they cut your umbilical cord.
That's why you hate belly buttons.
Maybe my chip is malfunctioning.
Maybe your chip is malfunctioning and you could feel it or something.
Maybe. So that's a thing. They do that. Every time they cut the umbilical cord, they implant a chip.
Okay, small aside, when my when my eldest child was born, they basically put a store alarm system
Yes.
on their belly button. Like the nurse had to scan my bracelet, they had to scan the baby's bracelet, and it literally had like a do not remove from store alarm on the belly button. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
See,
sure.
What that really was a
Which
chip
is the
implanter.
chip implant. Yeah,
You just know.
I didn't.
Also, you know the PKU test that's done in the hospital when babies are born?
Is that the eye test?
That's the one they prick the heel of the
Oh,
foot
yeah,
and
yeah.
take the drops of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, according to Sherry, they take 5 drops of blood.
Okay.
And they only need 2 of them for the test. The other 3 are then sent off to the New World Order and used for cloning.
Okay, so there's like a bunch of clones of Devin running around because I think Liam didn't have it, but Devin did.
I don't know. I thought everybody had it.
I thought everybody had it, but they told me they weren't going to do it for Devin, but because they were so junky, they did because they wanted to make sure I wasn't diabetic and therefore that Devin was experiencing diabetes. No, they were just chunky, baby.
Yeah. Oh, and vaccines
Oh, God.
are biowarfare and population control designed to ensure that you die before you can collect Social Security.
Okay, but smallpox was eradicated. Polio, wild polio is still a thing, but that's mostly in sub-Saharan countries. Polio has basically been eradicated. Both my parents are old enough to collect Social Security and have been fully vaccinated.
Don't know
My
what to tell you.
grandmother's 97. What the fuck?
I cannot make it make Anyway.
I think they would notice if the polio vaccine caused, like, death at 62.
Anyway, also tattoos and piercings are invitations that make you vulnerable to alien attack and possessions.
Holy shit, I'm fucked.
Right? Here we go.
And I'm talking about getting another tattoo. Apparently, I want more aliens to come and get
Right?
me.
They haven't got you yet. You need to make the banner bigger.
I need to, it's like, how many more piercings and tattoos do I need? Damn it, take me.
Make the welcome mat larger.
Just have welcome on my forehead. No, I have children.
Yeah,
And
don't
I'm
do
not
that.
insane.
Don't do that. Anyway, so Sherry says that there are 144,000 elect who are angels in the flesh who have been sent to Earth to complete missions in this war and then will return to heaven.
Okay.
Because these elect are threats to the New World Order, they will suffer greatly during their lifetimes from spiritual attacks.
So the people in the mental hospitals are angels.
Not even. Like, Sherry would turn anything into a spiritual attack. Her computer died. It was a spiritual attack because
pretty
they
sure
wanted to
that's a-
silence her message.
Pretty sure that's a magnetic wave, or maybe you should check your charger.
Look, everything was a spiritual attack.
Okay.
Um,
You didn't give me 5-piece nuggets. You shorted me a nugget. Spiritual attack.
right, because they want to starve you because you're a threat. Yeah.
I
Seriously?
mean, that one I might agree with. Like, if I got shorted on a nugget, I'd be like, God damn it.
See, and I know you're joking, but the thing is that's not even close to outlandish. Like,
No.
if I heard her say those words, I'd be like, that sounds like Sherry.
It sounds like
So-
Sherry. But at the same time, that one's kind of relatable. Like, I paid for 5 nuggets. Give me my 5 nuggets, God damn it.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Oh, this is how they get you. Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in
So-
a cult. I've got to call my dad.
So the way to fight back on these spiritual attacks, Orgon.
No!
Orgon is the way to fight back.
Oh.
Now, Sherry took the idea, sort of, from Wilhelm Reich,
Uh-huh.
but then she changed it a lot.
So
So,
you don't have an easy spank oven anymore?
there's no easy spank oven.
Okay.
She did have Orgon blasters, but
Were they bubber blowers?
almost.
Yeah.
Girl, let me tell you. Okay, so first of all, she does talk about Orgon energy, and that when the Orgon energy is low, then that area that has the low energy is susceptible to attack.
Okay.
So she and her followers would
course.
go and try to
Raise it.
raise the energy. Right. Now, this is not a sexual thing like with Wilhelm Reich.
Right.
So don't go like orgies in the woods. That's not what they did.
Although if they did, they'd probably have more followers.
Maybe. But she believed that you could make orgon essentially out of resin, quartz crystals,
No!
copper, and aluminum.
I knew crystals were coming in.
Crystals are in here. Yes. So she would make these pucks, right?
An Orgon puck.
Basically. Or a pendant. You can make a
Okay.
necklace out of
All
it.
right.
And that's what would essentially protect you. Now, Orgon blasters were no fucking joke. Water guns filled with Orgon water, which essentially you had put your pucks in
Oh my god.
and let it sit, and then it became Orgon water,
And if you add Dawn dish soap, it becomes Orgon bubbles.
right?
Oh my god.
So no, you're not as far off as you think you are. You think you're being outlandish, but no, you're on the right track.
I used to joke that when Devin was younger and would go into their demonic fits because they were a toddler, that I needed a super soaker full of holy water. This bitch actually thought she had one.
She did, yes. Now, she did say that anybody could make Orgon,
Of course.
and
they could.
she shared the recipe with people.
Okay. I
However,
was gonna say, what is she selling?
when you make the Orgon, your energy gets incorporated into it.
Uh-huh.
And because she's the daughter of God, that makes hers the most powerful.
Of course.
So if you can't afford to buy it from her, you can make it yourself. It's just not going to be as effective.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Also,
Mm-mm.
anyone who rejected her or disagreed with her, challenged her in any way.
Gave her one less nugget in the drive-thru.
Right. They were a zombie, vampire, reptilian, witch, whatever, some part of the conspiracy.
Could you imagine if it was all at once?
Even those who had been close to her, if
Of
they
course, if
challenged her,
yeah.
then they had been replaced by clones and were no longer human and instead were now the enemy.
Isn't that a mental disorder where you don't recognize the faces of the people you love?
Yes, that's not this though.
Okay.
But yes, that's a real thing.
Yeah. No, all right.
It's not a mental disorder. It's like a
TBI.
brain condition.
It's like
yeah.
a traumatic brain injury, but I think it can also be brought on by like severe PTSD.
Yeah, so that absolutely is a thing. That's not this.
Okay.
If this is anything, it's high-class narcissism.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so I followed her Twitter account as far back as it would let me go.
Okay.
Which was February 24th of 2017.
Okay.
Now, I'm reasonably certain that she had Twitter before that. I don't think that was when she opened her Twitter account.
That just might be as far back.
That's as far back as it would let me go. Okay. Right. The very first posts I saw on that date, she was ranting about being censored and banned on Facebook.
Oh.
She shared the posts that got her removed. They're pretty fucking vile, by the way.
Okay. All right.
She said, you can't even talk about derogatory term for transgendered humans.
Oh, great.
On Facebook without getting blocked and censored. Where is the outrage? So
you.
Yeah. That gives you a pretty good idea of who she is as a human.
Oh, great.
Like, there you go.
I mean, I wasn't a fan already, but now I'm like, you can fuck right off.
Oh.
It's gonna get worse, I know. Come on.
Yeah. Most of her tweets, many of her tweets, were basically just sharing her YouTube videos. Kind of like most of our Twitter page is just our links to our podcast.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I did check out her YouTube page.
Oh, God.
Again, at my own peril, it got me. the algorithm got me. The very first video, I went all the way back to the beginning, and then I didn't watch another one. But the very first video it's all about like the satanic trinity.
Oh, no.
And how the Christmas tree is actually a representation of Satan's dick.
I mean, it would be barbed and bedazzled. That's my guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, I can't make this up because I am not this creative. But so this video, it's her first video, but she's not actually the one talking. So I'm not 100% sure why she posted it.
So it was somebody else's fever dream?
Well, except for the fact that the narrator of this video basically like thanked her for her revelations that like led them to these truths. So maybe that's why she posted it.
Oh, okay.
But it just seems weird. Like you started a YouTube channel
to post somebody else's shit,
and that's the first video.
Right.
Unless
her shit got banned or deleted.
I was just thinking along the lines of, again, it would only let me go back so far.
Yeah, that too.
Unless that's the case. But, so an actual literal quote from the video.
Oh, no.
So they've gone rambling on about ancient Greek practices.
All right.
And then they say, so where is all this going?
Yes, where the hell is all this going?
Anyone educated in the basics of these things knows that it all boils down to disguised satanic ritual.
All right.
So again.
Christmas is satanic?
I mean, it's pagan, but that's not the same fucking thing.
No, it's not. I mean, we already knew the pagan aspect of it.
Yeah, but, they conflate those all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so again, this gives you a good summary of who she is as a person. So, now that we know who Sherry Shriner is, around 2009,
okay,
a 19-year-old woman named Kelly Pingilly.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were pronouncing it Pingilly.
Okay.
Might be Pingilly, but I think it's Pingilly.
Okay.
She discovered Sherry's show.
Okay. The web podcast thing?
The Blog Talk Radio.
Blog Talk Radio, that's what it
was. And now Kelly was drawn to Sherry, at least in part, because she had suffered with nightmares for most of her life.
Oh, that sucks.
And Sherry offered an explanation for this experience, basically saying, you're an angel in the flesh. Oh. You are experiencing spiritual attack.
Spiritual attack while you sleep.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Also, they incorporated astral projection. into this whole thing.
Okay.
And so basically what they were saying, what Sherry was saying, was that when you sleep, all those things that you're nightmaring about, that's actually happening to you in another dimension.
In another dimension.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's another dimension.
They did that in Doctor Strange, the movie.
Yeah. So Kelly, this is where my script ends, and I'm jumping onto my outline.
Okay.
So Kelly, by all accounts, had a fairly normal childhood.
Okay.
She had she was in a group of 4 friends who were pretty close.
Okay.
And in fact, the other 3 friends are featured in like the podcast and in the Vice thing.
Okay.
Like they interview, right? They still talk.
Still talk. Okay.
But Kelly got really into the Sherry Shriner thing, and like people noticed and they thought it was weird.
Right.
But they were just kind of like, everybody has their own religious beliefs.
Thing, yeah.
Like, I think it's weird, but whatever.
Whatever. It's not hurting anyone, so.
Yeah. I had also read, I think it was the audiobook.
Okay.
That basically Kelly had this, like, huge, deep desire to, like, serve God and be of use to God. And so.
Okay.
That combined with the nightmares when she finds Sherry Shriner and is basically being told that
she's an angel incarnate.
Right.
Okay.
She gets really into it.
Sure.
So she starts volunteering to transcribe Sherry's show.
Okay.
So totally volunteer work, not paid.
Not paid.
Every episode she listens to it, types it up, whatever.
Okay.
She also had what they called a live blog. I don't know what makes it live, because it was still just typing. But basically, they're like journal entries. And she, like, accounts everything that's going on to her and, like, really putting it all out there, talking about her nightmares, talking about how, you know, essentially she took those nightmares to mean these were things that were really happening to her, or they were repressed memories or whatever, right?
Okay.
By all accounts, they got really, really dark.
That's not good.
The author, his name is Tony Russo. Mm-hmm. He did the audiobook and the actual book that I have called Dragged into the Light, which is all about this.
Okay.
He was also featured in the Vice documentary.
Okay.
And basically he said that there are parts of that blog that are essentially unreadable. Like, you can't read it. It's really violent, really explicit, really sexual. And
that's not good.
So I did not try.
I don't blame you.
I left that one alone.
Yeah.
But basically...
That should have gone to a therapist.
Yes, and one friend actually was like, I don't remember which friend, loose quote here, take the gist. But basically after a conversation with Kelly, she was like, I don't know how to help you, but I will help find someone who can. And Kelly said no.
Of course not.
So, she gets really, like I said, into all of this, obviously. She goes on Orgone missions with Sherry. So she's...
With the little pucks.
With the pucks, yep.
Okay.
And she's actually one of the few people in Sherry's following who actually met Sherry for real.
Okay.
Most people never met Sherry.
Of course not.
In real life. It was all just following her online.
Right.
She's one of the few people who actually did, and she went on Orgone missions with her, whatever. So somewhere in all of there's some question, basically, that Kelly and Sherry started to have a falling out.
Okay.
And if I understood it correctly, it basically came down to the fact that Sherry was saying that she is the prophet, she is the daughter of God, she knows it all.
Yeah.
And Kelly is saying, but if I'm an angel in the flesh, which Sherry had actually told her she was.
Right,
flat out told her she was one of the elect.
Yeah.
She goes, if I'm an angel in the flesh and these dreams are real, I do have knowledge.
Yeah.
And Sherry did not like that.
Of course not.
So basically, from what I can tell, that somehow led to the breakdown of their relationship. That's how they had their falling out.
Right. Because she can't be omnipotent if somebody else thinks they're seeing future visions.
Yes. Yes. So Kelly, believing that she's an angel in the flesh, somehow, and this got really wild, and I don't know. Please go watch the other stuff on this. Please do. But
the list of things.
Go. But somehow Kelly ended up believing that she had the key to hell.
Okay.
Maybe it came to her in one of these dreams. I don't know.
Sure.
But that as an angel in the flesh, this key to hell was part of her mission, what she was sent to Earth to do.
To open hell?
No, to retrieve the key and deliver it to God.
Oh, okay.
So, Kelly goes for a drive. She stops at Walgreens and buys a 30-pack of Sleepinol, which is a sleeping pill,
Oh, no.
in the middle of winter.
Oh, no.
Finds herself an open field.
No.
Letters to everyone,
Explaining what she was doing.
basically.
Oh, no.
And took her pills, took her jacket off,
No.
folded it up next to her, and went to sleep in the middle of a field in the middle of winter.
Yeah, hypothermia and possible drug overdose.
And basically, so some kids found her the next day. They called the cops, whatever. The autopsy basically couldn't confirm which one did it.
But probably
Either
a
could
mixture.
have.
Either could have, maybe both.
Yeah. And
no.
next to her was one of her journals. And it basically was like a note to her parents saying that, I'm off to fulfill my destiny. I'm sorry, I don't know when I'll be back. I just wanted you to know that I loved you since I don't know when I'll be back, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that starts this whole big debate of, did Kelly really commit suicide?
Or did she have a delusion that she was just going to deliver the key and that she'd wake up?
Right, because as one of the elect, as one of the angels in the
Right.
flesh, she should be able to travel back and forth to heaven.
I think she was a very mentally ill person, and I don't think she purposefully ended her life, because the letter made it sound like she was coming back. It wasn't a goodbye.
Yeah. So
But-
basically, yes. And so her friends argue essentially that if she had not gotten involved with Sherry Shriner, she would never have done it. That she didn't send suicidal messages. Hard to say. It's speculation. Who knows?
I
But the
feel like she
delusion
was a
definitely
very
didn't help.
mentally ill person, and maybe somebody tapped into that and enabled that. But something would have happened. She was very mentally ill.
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
So Sherry's response to Kelly's
This
death
criticism. Yeah.
is basically that it was not a suicide.
Right.
That a NATO hit squad
Oh,
killed
God.
Kelly.
Of course they did. NATO is who killed Kelly.
Yes, a NATO hit squad.
NATO hit. Okay.
Yeah. Somehow, and I cannot make it make sense because the logic, it's just not there for me.
There's not.
Somehow in all of this, her followers, again, the Orgone Warriors,
Yeah.
decided that the appropriate thing to do would be to hack into Kelly's account and message her loved ones.
No.
Bullying her loved ones.
No.
That's
That
what
is
they did.
sick. That is disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
my
basically,
God.
her friends and family had her Facebook taken down.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. They're pretty
Oh,
terrible.
that's fucking awful. That's just evil, man.
It is.
Oh, I don't like this.
No. And we're just getting started. Except for the fact that we're like 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
So this might just be the end of part 1.
It's probably a good stopping point for part 1 because somebody has died, and I have a feeling more people are coming.
Yes.
Okay.
More people are coming.
Okay.
So,
Damn you, NATO hit squad!
right?
Finding someone in the middle of a field in winter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's part 1.
Yes.
Again, cannot stress enough that
This doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense, and I'm just glossing right over the top.
Okay.
Opportunist, again, did 8 episodes on this. Vice's The Devil You Know did 6 episodes on this.
Oh my God.
There's a literal entire book written about it.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I fully recommend you go see it after I finish giving you my overview. So,
Okay.
don't do it yet. Do it next time. But for today, we're just going to say, hey, if you enjoyed the podcast, give us a like, share, subscribe on any platform. You can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Our Trivial Obsessions. We're on Twitter at Our Trivial Pod.
And we will never log into your social media and say shit to your family.
Hell no. We have a website, www.ourtrivialobsessions.com. There you can find our episode references and bonus materials. And you can email us. We're at randomqueensobsess@gmail.com. Random.
Because we are.
Queens.
Because we are.
Obsess.
Because
we
we
do. So go ahead and reach out to us there with any episode requests or topic requests for a future episode and anything you want to add to the conversation. And with that, we'll tell you more next week. Bye!